is creating a code to run through and check the contents of a document. So if there are occurrences of lorem ipsum, what it's going to do is it's going to set the font of that element to be bold and then also update the font size whenever the code runs. So when we go back in, we see that now we've got updated font size to 18. It's been bolded, and this is only on the elements that have lorem ipsum or whatever the needle is that we're looking for within the text. We're going to be accessing the content of a doc, so go over to the doc, and within the web URL we can select and get the ID of the doc, and this is going to be mod doc function. And within this function, first one we're going to be setting is the ID, so using that string value of the doc that we just picked up. So that will allow us a way to access the document. So we need to select the document itself, and this is we can be done by using the DocumentApp, and then we can open by ID, and we specify the ID of the document that we want to use. In order to get the contents of the document, so the body, we can use the doc object and get the body contents, and that's the body of the document. And this gives us access to the document body. And then let's select the paragraphs that we have within the document. So within the body, we can then get all the different values there, and we can get the paragraphs that way. So it's going to return back an array of all of the paragraphs. So let's see what we've got now within the paras and run the code. And that gives us all of the paragraphs of that document. So looping through the paragraphs, we can get the paragraphs, and then we can get some of the text actually within the paragraphs. So let's check for within the text paragraph, and we're going to see occurrences of lorem ipsum. And I'm not sure how many we've got there, but let's add some additional ones in there. And going back into our code, so looping through, and if we have the contents of the paragraph, so looping through the paragraphs, first we need to create our loop for that, and we can use a for each loop for that, and that's going to return back the paragraph element. And then within the paragraph, we can do a condition to check to see if the current paragraph has value, and we'll just get the paragraph as text object. So it's going to turn back all of the text, and then we can use an index of to check to see if a particular value is contained within that paragraph element. And if it's not equal to, or if it's not equal to -1, that means that that particular value was found within the paragraphs. And this is going to be expecting an object. So let's first we'll create the object that we're going to do for setting the attributes, and then we'll update it and add to it. So within the style object, setting up the property for the document app and whatever attribute that we want to set. So in this case, we're going to set the attribute and set it to bold, and set within this attribute, set that to be true. And then you can set other parameters as well. So in this case, we want to add it to the paragraph when we find it. So use the set attributes method, and within the attributes, then we're just updating it with whatever we've got for the style property. You can also update and add additional style values as needed. So let's run through, and now whatever paragraph that has lorem ipsum in it, then it's going to bold that paragraph, and we can unbold all of this. Run through the code again. So now we should have 3 occurrences, and it's going to be bolding that entire paragraph object. We can also update and add additional style values. So if we want to make the style, if we want to do a different font size. So let's say we want to set the font size to be 18. Select the attribute, and then from the attributes, you've got all of these options here. So font size is expecting a numeric value. So now when we run through it, it's going to make the font size bigger just on those paragraphs where it's detecting the lorem ipsum.